What's good, y'all? This your boy Teddy B, and I'm here with a special TED Talks. Today, I know y'all seen them plenty of times on this channel, but I'm gonna let them introduce themselves before we get into a variety of topics. So, who wanna go first?
This introduction.
Yeah.
My bad. We already did that. But yeah, this your boy Germz. Germz the Juice. You already know. Israel's finest, man. Representing the land. R.I.P. to Chad again, man. T'Challa. That hurt this morning, but it's all good. We're going to get past it.
Yeah, shout out to the BP, man. Rest in peace, man.
And you know it's Doc. We here. Back at it again.
All right, man of a few words.
You know me.
So we're going to get into this first topic, which is what is the identity of our black people? What is the status, the state, the condition, the position of our people at this moment?
I guess I'll start.
Okay.
And I'll just say I feel like the most people are just ignorant to the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Most people had their own personal experience and they don't really have a historical perspective. They don't really have a world, international perspective.
Okay.
That matches what the facts is. Most people just had an American indoctrination of things, and because of that, it skews what people think the possibility is. It skews what they think their position is currently. It skews a whole lot of things. But because of that, and because of the idea that, and it sucks to say, but we were just like made, to be this way, from different historical perspectives. Whether you go back to the breeding farms, whether you go back to, the education system change, we were made to be this way. So, I think we are where we. It's odd to say, but I think we are where we should be. I think like we're on the up though. We're on the upswing instead of the other direction. Quite frankly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. All praises be to the Most High. Wait till you shine and walk. I think black people, the identity, man, it's not good at this point right now, from what I'm saying. I think it's getting worse, but at the same time, people are waking up to a lot of things. I do believe we are the Jews in the Bible. So not the white Jewish people. I do believe we're the Jews, and we lost. I feel like we lost. And as much people waking up, I think the issue right now is really like dividing us. I just think it's too many leaders. So, that could also be a problem. Like if it's somebody leading you this way, leading you that way, leading you that way, and they all may have truths. And because I would say no man has all the truth, but with them all having different truths, it can sway people so many different ways. And then while we doing that, it just destroys us so much more. And I just think, man, we need to like almost have a reset, like just a reset. Like, hey, let's everybody, like all your world leaders, your Farrakhan's, all the black people that feel like in power, your LeBrons and all them. We need a reset. If y'all really for our people, we need a reset because it's not looking too good. Like he said, Charlotte dying over cancer, man. That's something slight, bro. Like I think we should be at a place right now where we have the knowledge where that don't happen. We shouldn't lose somebody to something slight like that.
Especially at his age.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. Cause I had my own experience with the colon cancer thing. My family wanted to get checked out. It's nothing to get checked out. And he had been battling it. Apparently, that's what they said for 4 years. And it's like, damn, bro. Like, and you rich. So if it can happen, you ain't say you rich, but you got more money than us. And if it can happen to you, like I know it's crushing niggas on the lower level, you know what I'm saying, who don't even have that ability to even get that much knowledge, even though I think the knowledge is capable. So I think our condition is really bad, but I think it just comes from a lack of knowledge. We need to, like, the education is very bad from us, growing up. I think the education matters the most. The knowledge, the knowledge is like where I think our biggest downfall is. Our knowledge is very horrible, very horrible.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask both of y'all then. Do you agree with the knowledge part first?
Oh yeah, no question. Like I said, it's ignorance for real. Lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Lack of understanding, lack of awareness, lack of perspective.
Right.
I think that a lot of what's going on is preventable, but at the same time, because of our lack of knowledge, we're the ones that's causing it and like exacerbating the problem.
Right.
Like But at the same time, it's two sides of that spectrum where the worst is the bad is kind of getting worse, but the good is kind of getting better at the same time.
Okay.
So if you don't accept, like, if you're not aware of both sides,
Right.
you may see only the bad because negative tends to get a bigger light in our, day to day.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But there's a lot of positive going on, and I feel like if more people understood that positive, then they would see themselves and their thought processes and their position in a more positive light.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask both of y'all, what are a couple of ways, or just one way from each of y'all, where you feel like people can better educate themselves, like resources for knowledge?
The internet, even though it's the worst place in the world, it's the best place in the world. Like,
Agreed.
the thing is, it's just tailoring your intake experience.
Okay.
So if you on Instagram and your timeline is full of gossip, celebrity gossip, and other little bullshit, whatever, then it's your worst enemy. But at the same time, social media is also the place where people that's you got scientists, you got whole doctors, you got people that's on social media now that's actually talking. You know what I'm saying? Whereas it used to be a specified, like, a niche field where you had to be into that to gain that awareness and that knowledge. Now it's just like widespread. So now it's just it becomes more of a personal responsibility thing, where it's like, you get to choose who you follow on these pages. You get to choose who your friends is on Facebook.
Facts.
You get to choose what pages you go to on the internet. And if you're not taking the time to tailor that, then chances are you're going to run into more negative than anything.
Right.
And more ignorance than anything.
Yeah, so you create your own algorithm.
Yeah, definitely.
essentially. Yeah.
Definitely.
You got any ways?
I mean, like I said, I think we're going to agree on a lot of things because even though we disagree on a lot of things, or I would say ways about going about it, we both know that it's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the biggest thing that is not being acknowledged. You know what I mean? So, like, for instance, I want to read this passage out of the Bible, book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I would change their glory into shame." So even if I believe with the Jews, and let's say he say we Egyptians, right? That's still a glory. Like King David's a glory, Nefertiti. These are glorious things about our people. Right now, we look like we at the bottom. And we look like we was at the top and we're at the bottom. So like he said, it's about what you feed into, because it's like, man, I got a choice. Like he got a choice. I don't gotta watch Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
Facts.
I can go watch some information. Like I don't even watch TV no more. You know what I'm saying? I watch it here and there. So I'm not gonna say it loud, but I watch it like with my girl, because girls still into that.
Right.
And girls is more emotional, so I understand. But like I feed myself with lots of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Reading the Bible, even talking to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Having a discussion with him, we'll still pick up information. But it's like that's what we on. But you see people, they'll do this. It's like an accountability thing, because they'll let him slide with something and won't let me, or vice versa. Like, you can't be mad at Little pumping them for doing the drug music, but you say nothing to Future.
Right.
That's a hypocrite. You got to say something to him too, because he part of it. Just because he older, he'll be a big homie. That, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. So it's more of our blame and, like I said, accountability. But it's so much us.
Which is probably going to be the word of the day.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah. So
accountability.
I feel like that is gone within our community. It is gone.
Nah,
it's
facts.
not there.
Like if anything is gone, that accountability, that personal accountability, gone.
All right. So
for the most part,
very, very quickly, where does that come from?
I feel like it come from a place of not wanting to be embarrassed. Okay. So it's like you don't take a stance, or you don't feed into nothing, because it's like I could be wrong.
And you don't want to be wrong.
And you don't want to be wrong. Like when you're in school or whatever, you get ridiculed for saying something out loud.
Right.
And being wrong.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it come from our education system a lot of the time. It come from so like when it comes to like religious guilt, that type of thing, there's that involved too. So if you don't agree with what either the Bible say, Quran say, Torah, whatever it is, whatever book then you're ridiculed by your community and what I'm saying, your culture, that type of thing. So I think it's a lot of that. I'm not gonna say mostly, but a lot of that.
Okay. So do you think it's also a little bit of ego and pride as well?
Facts. Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? The ego and pride of, wanting to be seen in a certain light, or just the common, when you holler at niggas, be like, what's up with you? Be like, yeah, I'm just staying out the way. Like that whole staying out the way, like not having a real stance to stand on is like a position now. You know
no
what I'm
neutral,
saying?
bro. You gotta pick a side.
You gotta pick a side.
Yeah, and we've been saying that since we were kids.
You gotta pick a side.
All right,
That's
so we're gonna take a little brief break, and then we're gonna come back with some more topics.
Peace.
So once again, I got the Doc and the Germinator.
You
We'll be right back. Yeah, so we back, and next we're gonna get into the identity of our people, and then we're gonna get into how we got to be in the position that we're in. So, who would like to go first as far as that?
Say identity.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the identity, man. Our identity is the lost sheep of Israel, right? And I think the narrative from the Bible, which is the Jews or the Israelites, the people of the book, which in today's world are considered the white Jewish people in Israel or whatever you call that place now. I don't know what they done did to it. But we fit the description of the people as far as the curses and what happened to them. Like even just saying, it's a scripture from Jeremiah. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I have gave thee. Like, I'm not saying a person like himself or somebody else won't give me a background, but it's like we don't know who we are. We
Right.
Black, we Negro, we African American, we Indian, we so many things.
Right.
But when you go to other nations, they're not so many things. They're Chinese, and we know that. And they can go all the way back to history. You know what I'm saying? They're a certain kind of African, like Nigerian. He know that. He can go all the way back to history, his gods, this and that. We know it's almost like we're like a builder person.
Right.
Like we got so many different things, like this religion, that religion, this culture. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that. So that's why I feel like we are these people, because these people are lost. It even has some of the curses where in Deuteronomy 28:15 it say, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all his curses shall come upon thee. And he lists a bunch of curses. And just looking and reading some of the curses, it sounds like us.
Okay.
Like I don't feel like it. And not saying it can't, but it's so many curses. Like I feel like these are it got to be us, because when I was younger, even before I came into the Bible, so just like him, I was doing my research because my email is Prince of Egypt. So I was with the Egypt thing and all that, whatever kid may be. But it was like, bruh, like it's something inside of me, like, bruh, something's not right. Like somebody lying to us, something not right, because like, dog, like why are we slaves? Right. You know what I'm saying? Why no other nations? So many things were just coming wrong. So I was like, yeah. So then when I came across the Bible and was seeing all these things, and like just the way Deshaun Jackson puts up a quote about being the real Jews, they killing this man.
Right.
Almost murdered this man. Same thing with Nick Cannon. He said the same thing. But if we was to say Black Panther or Africa, they don't really care. So obviously it gotta mean something to at least these people. It means something to the Jewish people, the people that run the world. Something means something. So like little insights like that further confirms what I believe. It's like, okay, we must be the people. So I believe that's our identity of people, and we're lost, and we gotta find our way back home, because we have no home, we have no heritage, no food, no language. I don't even know what my language is, bro. Like we just lost. I just know I'm a Negro from Forestville. That's all I know. So I feel like I said we just a lost people. That's our identity, the lost sheep of Israel.
Okay.
So, my perspective on that whole situation is just that we the lost people from everywhere.
Right.
Like we colonized the whole world. All of the land mass of the world. You know what I'm saying? Prior to a place called Israel, prior to a place called Egypt, prior to a place called Africa. You know what I'm saying? Where in different groups just had different languages, different cultures, different spiritual systems, even though the spiritual system may lead back to the same level of truth, because we still talk about life at the end of the day.
Right.
But in terms of like as we see ourselves as Americans now, we a melting pot. You know what I'm saying? We were taken from different locations at different points in history, and we moved from different places in different points in history. So even outside of the slavery concept, we always moved around. You know what I'm saying? You had Africans that would be in what we call Africa, quote unquote, and literally move to somewhere, just take 200 ships worth of people, and we'll just go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Mix with the indigenous, and then it'll just be, like I said, more of a melting pot. We always interacted with each other because we more or less the same people. as it relates to, you know, it bothers me sometimes doing my research on like the similarities between what the Bible says is going to happen and what actually happened, because it's the simple fact of, if you're in a position of power and you are leading the world in a given direction, you then have the impetus to write about it. So, you know what I'm saying? If I know, if a say small example real quick.
Okay.
If say we about to play a basketball game, and I know you got Jordan on your team, right? Most people gonna think that y'all probably gonna win,
About to cook them niggas.
right? But at the same time, if I know somebody on my team done, you know what I'm saying, poison Jordan 3 minutes before the game, he not gonna have no, you know what I'm saying, he not gonna have no faculties.
Right.
We know we can, you know what I'm saying, speak on what we might be able to do, considering the fact that you may believe that you got a certain thing. So if I know, if I'm on, like he said, in terms of like the Jewish versus the Jew thing and that type of thing, if we have a situation where we're trying to have people believe that we are a certain individual, whenever you speak on that, we're gonna have something to say. But outside of that, we wouldn't mention it, because if we did put as much, you know, behind that, people would know that there's something behind that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So personally, I don't feel like, you know, I have a viewpoint about Egypt where it's just like people speak of Egypt as if like that was the pinnacle, when there's like evidence that, you know, that Egypt even grew from Ethiopia. So Ethiopia was a little better than different parts. So, you know, you had the richest people in the world in Ghana at one point, which is on a whole other side. You know what I'm saying? Like our historical awareness is just, it's not all the way full yet. You know what I'm saying? It's not complete, because most people just know Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Most people just hear Egypt as like, you know, the pinnacle of whatever it is, not even understanding that the landmass of America had their own cultures, and they got to a certain pinnacle. Certain places in South America, they had their own pinnacle. Even Australia, they had their own pinnacle. And at each location, you had, you know, what they classify themselves as white people, you know, and Arab people at the time, which is a whole nother concept. But you had people at the time who came in and literally sabotaged under different flags, under different cultures, under different languages, and that type of thing. They came in and sabotaged in different ways. So then when we look at the black people of the world today, it's like we were, like I said earlier, we were kind of made to be this way. If you got a people who prioritizes knowledge and awareness,
Okay.
but then you simultaneously have a point in history where I'll kill you for reading a book. You create a situation where you have ignorant people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like later on down the line, because of course
Yeah,
that
yeah,
generation is going to have a level of knowledge they're going to teach. But then as you move farther away from that, you get levels of ignorance that, you know, hadn't been seen before. But that was created. That's not I don't want to say some God-given curse. That's, I'm telling you I'm going to kill you, and I'm following that up with action. So, you know, my definition of God is a little different in terms of just energy and consciousness.
Yeah, well, that's that varies. That varies.
You know, so as it relates to people have access to that energy and consciousness. So when it comes to who has the power to inflict their will upon another person, you could then say that was God's plan. That's my whole thing. Like, I just don't. I can't see it as somebody with no individual with no power writing about what's gonna happen in the future. Like, that sounds backwards. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, to a certain degree, but
It sounds backwards.
You got anything to add to that before we
the identity.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, it's to me it's scriptural, and I get what he's saying. So it's almost like if I'm making the world a certain way, like you say, if I got some information, I'm like I can write the book.
I mean, long story short, if you know that you're sabotaging what's going on,
You can write about it.
You can write about it.
Yes.
You have a structure in place that, okay, if I do this, then 50 years from now, this should be happening.
This is going to be happening.
Yeah.
And they have like think tanks where they have projections 200 years in the future.
Right.
With numbers, with signs, with if we release this, then, you know, like the Tuskegee experiments where they just did it randomly, quote unquote. Like, you take that data and then you can say, okay, if we do it this way, then chances are this can happen. And, you know, and then once you get those projections, you can actually create institutions to make those projections actually be a thing. So if you want to have concentrated wealth somewhere, then you put the resources somewhere. Then you do the gentrification in a certain space. It's not a coincidence that a lot of the wealth is around the coastline. That's not a coincidence. Around water, you have to have water to have a civilization. That's not a coincidence. That's a plan. Having understood what human life is. So, you know, if you look at, if we would just take the United States for example, look at where all of the wealth is. It's around the beaches. It's around the water. It's around the harbors. That's not random. You know what I mean? That's planning. That's strategic. That's tactical. War shit. You know what I'm saying? War mindset.
Okay. So we're gonna take another brief break right quick, and then we're going
Mario.
I don't know what it's gonna be, but yeah, we'll be right back. Yeah, so we back, and the next topic could be why you feel like our people can't get out of the situation that we in. So we're gonna start with Germz, and then Dan, you're gonna take over after that.
Man, it's a lot of different reasons, but touch on earlier what he said, man. It's like you got pride. That's one of them.
Okay.
Niggas' pride is crazy.
Okay.
Like
scale of 1 to 10, what you think?
the pride level,
Yeah.
man. If niggas being prideful, boy, it could be like about a 9, 9.5. I would say a 10, but like I said, it's changing now because of the information, man. Like the internet's crazy because like a double-edged sword. It got a lot of good stuff. It got a lot of bad stuff too. But it just depends on what you put in your mind to. You know what I'm saying? What you trying to really seek out. So that's one problem. The ego thing is another problem. The shame may be one of the biggest problems because even what he said, right? So he's not even like, I guess on the religious tip or whatever you want to call it, like some more. So in the Bible, like it's almost like people are afraid to make mistakes. I had to tell my man that. I said, listen, bro, you ain't never seen Next Friday. He was like, you just your shirt on backwards, player. He was like, yo, players mess up. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all doing when the fat girl jumped on me? Like, it's like problems are going to happen.
Right.
It's part of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it just depends on how you recover and react from them and if you making it constantly. So I've noticed for us, we make a lot of our own problems. A lot of them. And then they'll be like, well, how we get out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, let's stop what we was doing.
Making a problem.
Yeah, stop making a problem because that to me, that's like the state. So, for instance, the reason why the Jews are in the condition they're in, they wasn't listening to God's rules. So God, and not listening to God's rules, he puts them in slavery. They cry, help us. He save them again. They do the rules, then they cut back up. And I feel like it's the same thing with black people. That's how they relate. We'll do so much. It's almost like you ever had a girlfriend and she'll say, or this and that, like even a boyfriend, it doesn't matter which, you know what I'm saying, it is.
Right.
They be like, man, you don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do that. All right, cool. So 2-3 months, they do all that. And then the 4th month, it flip right back over. So it's like you still causing the problem and don't see it. But the thing about it is you also feel like it's a place where you could never lose that person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like I lost my sister. We lost Chad. I don't even care about so much, like not saying about the police brutality thing because we all losing people like that. But bruh, like we losing people way before that, dog. Like it's kids killing kids, man, or kids getting shot off straight bullets. Not his grandma or my grandma, but somebody grandma on the street dying because she got diabetes. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to change the way we eat. We need to change, like, we are so much of the problem. And when you talk to people, we go back to the accountability. I was asking people about, like, what percent would you blame the white man, this and that. And most of the time, it was just like, I don't even blame black people. It's either white people, the government, this and that. It was almost like, dog, there's no accountability to us. Like I said, at the same time, it's our fault. Now, mind you, if I tell him do something, tell you do something, tell him do something, right? it's gonna be one Indian that want to be a chief. It's gonna be that. That's just how it is. You got the fat boy that want to play corner. It's always gonna be one person that's always gonna be that, you know what I'm saying, mess it up. But the issue is though, like we think so big, but not realizing it's small. We grew up in Surrey Square, bro. It's 11 apartment buildings in each building.
Right.
It's about 70 buildings. I can't do the math off the top of my head, but if everybody put up $25 like a week, bro, we can buy this. We can buy this block,
Right.
But then it's gonna be a problem. Or why Danny in charge? Or why Juice in charge? Why it's almost like you can't even get out your way. But it's like, bro, you don't even realize we're going to help each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I went to this seminar, man, and they was talking about this laundromat, and it was 3 Asian families that ran the joint, and each Asian family did work for 4 months straight.
Okay.
No take no days off. Work 4 months straight. We stopped, and it's his turn. His family come out. So we got like a whole 8-month break. Then after he stopped, it's like that, and it's like, dog, that's a plan. You done created an 8-month vacation,
right?
Where you can have the ability to do what you want to do. Now you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to bust your ass for them first 4 months. But it's like I couldn't even present nothing to you because you so afraid of being shameful. You're afraid of, oh man, they gonna judge me. This and that. I'm like, bro, judging is a part of everyday life.
Yeah.
You look at that girl, she light skinned and she bad. There's her mother. You judging her right now,
right?
You get what I'm saying? It's a part of everyday life, and it's like, when somebody put in a certain context, like, oh, you shouldn't judge Christian, you shouldn't judge. But I'm like, but you judge every day. Y'all don't even allow faggots to be in the church. But I'm like, how do he know he's doing wrong if you won't allow him to be in the church? You're hurting him. We're hurting each other. And like I said, the blacks, even the Latinos, because I believe that the Latinos are also part of Israel because they just the same way. I've been talking to a lot of Spanish people around where I live at now, and they go through the same similar things. And it's like we can't grow because, like I said, it's always an ego problem or it's an issue. You can't say that you one with Christ and everybody and Jew and Gentile is alike, but yeah, oh, Daniel can't talk to no white person, or he can't talk to Spanish. That don't make sense. That's a contradiction in itself. So
right.
Then you confuse this child or whoever you're telling this to. So now you confuse the child. Why would I want to do that? I know when I was coming up, I would hang out with Christians, and they're
right.
doing what I'm doing. You
right.
smoking, messing with bitches. I'm like, what's the point of me joining the thing if I can do the same thing without being at church every Sunday?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's a confusion part, really, to be honest. But like I said, it's a pride thing. It's an ego thing. Definitely accountability, but like it has to be a point where it's like, okay, cool, we acceptable with this guy being our leader or this guy being our leader because, like I said, he may be the leader of the whole jump, right? Him and maybe a few other guys, but then he might not be the best shooter. You might be the best shooter,
right?
So he gets better when he bows to you at that. Like, yeah, bro, I can't shoot. I'm not the shooter. Let him be the shooter. That's what I teach. I'm teaching y'all the overall. You know what I'm saying? He tell you whatever he teaching, and he's allowing you to be that. But now it's like a nigga want to be. He want to be the shooter. He want to be the driver,
right.
the nigga with the bread. Like it's almost like what do I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you taking all the jobs. It's the Jerry Jones effect. You can't
right.
be Jerry Jones and expect to win, bro.
I feel like it all comes down to like everybody just want that spotlight no matter what. Yeah. And they feel like if they give a piece of, like I said, if I give Dan the position to be the shooter, they're gonna glorify the shooter, and then here I am, like damn. I should have shot.
But it's different glories, though.
Yeah, that's a good conversation that needs to be had also.
Very different glories.
Different glories.
I think there's a reason for that, though, just in terms of my answer. Like,
okay, go ahead.
Like I said, a historical perspective. If you keep... Gotta tread a little lightly. I feel like that if you keep a people for so long from being able to achieve, then each individual person feels like this over priority to then achieve. So, when you had disenfranchisement on the level that it is, it's hard to not give a lot of the blame to quote unquote white people, government, the system, that type of thing, because they're the ones that are training our perspectives. If you as the state own the library, you can tailor what books is in that library. You can tailor what perspectives get airtime on your media platforms. You could tailor, how they got the fact checker on Facebook now. Right. Who gave Facebook the authority to tell who's doing the fact checking? You know what I'm saying? What site are they using to check your facts? facts. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that has the power to inflict their will because of their platform is saying that XYZ may be true or false. So it's hard to not give a lot of the blame towards the system that we in because they're literally able to shift perspective based off of what they put in your face. Like a song that you may not like at first, but if they play it enough times on the radio, it might become your song out there. Not everybody.
Right.
But, a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? You could sway perspective just by flooding, the airways with that thing. But it is a lot of personal accountability to be spoken, to speak about. We all have phones. We got supercomputer in our pocket. And we got access to information that's not tailored. You know what I'm saying? We don't think a lot of people think of the internet as Google. You know what I'm saying? Even though, okay. Google is only, the indexed internet is only maybe like 2 or 3% of the internet versus the unindexed internet, where it goes in the dark web. And then people hear dark web. And because of our perspective of what dark means, they automatically think bad, evil, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So it's
watching them nudies.
It's perspective based. When it's symbol based. When you hear a word, when you hear a term, when you hear a concept, it take a level of awareness to understand what you're looking at, or to have a good perspective of what you're looking at. And if the culture that you're in, if the power structure that be gives you a perspective and keeps prioritizing that perspective, making it, all of the you see black male characters on TV that they're either, misogynistic or gay or whatever the case may be. Like you're making the perspective be bigger really than what it would naturally be. Like you can't to not place blame on that is just purposely putting a blind eye to it. Versus, giving it the real proper historical perspective of the matter. But it goes back to knowledge, though. We're making more money now, even though it may not seem like it. But our bad situations now are nowhere near as bad as, say, the Great Depression or something like that, or when World War I, World War II, Vietnam. Like we're making much more money now, and even though things are more expensive, we also have a level of quote unquote disposable income that we're using horribly. so it's like collectively, not saying everybody, but collectively, we're using horribly. You know what I'm saying? And we I agree with him in the sense of a lot of it is definitely for our habits. You know what I'm saying? The things that we find to be important, our priority list, fucked up. But it's not. I don't think that. I don't think that that's natural though. I don't think that I think that it was given to it. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day and they was talking about how the I don't remember who it was, but we were talking about how black people look at what white people do with their money. And a lot of them, because of the mass media, they only see white people. They go to work, go home. They might go on vacations, but they don't see the other things. They don't see how, like I live uptown, 16th Street. The white people that live up there, all of their houses got solar panels on it. All of their houses got water tanks, so they collecting their water, refiltering it through, so their water bill is less and that type of thing. Like they don't see that part of the game.
So basically,
they're not really. We're not really putting our minds in the right place. We're not putting our dollars in the right place. Like you said, our food is definitely a big thing because your gut is a brain in and of itself. So what you put in, what you intake, is definitely swaying the way that you look at things. Definitely swaying the way that you respond to things. Definitely swaying, your priority list. People don't think of food as information, but that's exactly what it is. It has a level of knowledge and awareness in it, and when you intake it, it's swaying you day by day. Your anxiety, your depression, a lot of the times, like people like there's a quote that they'll say, you can't eat your way out of depression, and I don't necessarily all the way agree with that, only because when you're lighter, you look at the world differently. When not lighter as in like weight, but lighter as in like just energetic density.
Yeah,
like it's
you
not
eat like McDonald's. Let me cut you off. It make you feel sluggish.
It make you feel sluggish.
Yeah.
So when take that word sluggish, it makes your brain sluggish in terms of how do I tackle this problem. It's a slow, not all encompassing thinking that occurs, and it's not just your physical being sluggish. It's your brain saying, okay, I see this problem, but I'm gonna be lazy about how I think about fixing it. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta look at all of that. We gotta look at everything that's in our control, and it's a whole hell of a lot that's within our control. Even if you go to the grocery store, 8 out of 10 things in your grocery store are bullshit. But those are the things that quote unquote taste good. Why do they taste good? Then you go into that, and then you go into the chemical warfare in terms of that. So it's still up to you to pick those 2 out of 10 things though, because they are available. You know what I mean? I was taught that you most of your shopping should be around the outskirts of your grocery store, and a lot of the middle part is the bullshit.
Right.
So but that's up to you though. It's still personal responsibility. It's still personal awareness, and you have all the knowledge and awareness that you need in your pocket. But questions give answers.
Right.
If you ask the wrong question, chances are you're gonna get the wrong answer. But if you ask the right question, you'll definitely get the right answer because it's out there more times than not.
All right, so we're gonna take one more break, and then we're gonna come back and knock out the rest. Right. Got the doc, got the Germz, and we'll be right back. All right, so last 2 things we're gonna go over is the agenda that's at hand in 2020 and what we can do to change it, get out of it, so to speak. So, Doc, we'll start with you.
I think, to put it simply, the term social distancing kind of wraps it up. You know what I'm saying? The black community in particular already had a level of distrust towards each other, like in the recent years. So like prior to like integration and that type of thing, we was together, we was solid.
Okay.
Then integration comes along, and our priorities start to shift and that type of thing. And with that, and with the influx of I guess you would call it dirty money that came into the area, you had a stronger situation of have and have-nots, and then we kind of stopped trusting each other, stopped seeing each other as family, that type of thing. It started to become a dog-eat-dog in our community, which wasn't the case at first. But in today's world, it's just exacerbating that in the sense of now, shit, I don't know if you got Rona, so I don't want to show up to your events. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, I don't know who you be around, so, you know what I'm saying, I can't really trust that. And then, like I said, the term social distancing, the term of, just divide of a now is a physical divide of people. We can't congregate, in certain numbers. You know what I'm saying? We can't do certain things without the mask on. So then it's like there's an intentions hiding thing behind that in a certain way. Just furthering the distrust, I think, is a big part of it. I also think that there's a without being on location. How do I say that? The extremists go on location, and most people aren't. So then you get a congregation of extremists, and you get a situation like what just happened with Kenosha,
Wisconsin.
Yeah, or whatever it is, where it's like now the people who are really about that life are coming out, and then you can do something, to them.
Right.
So like that's from a negative perspective, right? But then on the flip side, in the terms of, there's positives that come out of that in a way. Like I was just talking to somebody yesterday about how social media is really one of our strongest weapons for real, in the sense of because people aren't just going out like regular and that type of thing. You're starting to see more and more people be more and more, I guess you could call it, vulnerable on their social media.
Right.
So you starting to see like the internal perspectives of people.
Okay.
And it gives you almost like a pre-filter to resonate with individuals that you might walk past on the street, but they'll go post something on their Instagram, You know what I'm saying? They may post something on their Facebook or whatever,
right.
and now y'all could talk online and then kind of link up because y'all resonating towards a certain plan or path. I also think that because I'll say it like it's being marketed as the level of pandemic that it is, I don't think that the numbers are really as accurate as what the reality is. Even though I'm not saying that it's fake.
Okay.
But I think that the numbers are definitely inflated. Because of that, regardless on whether it's malicious intent or organic, it's making people think about their health, you know, about what they eat, about, you know, their cleanliness and, you know, that type of thing. It's making them reprioritize that. And I think that that's needed, and it's going to cause people that may not have even thought about it at first to focus on it, and then they'll see, you know, okay, Big Mama passed from a heart attack. You know, mom died of a heart attack. Great grandma died of a heart attack. Damn, it might be some genetics that make you predisposed to it in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But let's look at their habits. You know what I'm saying? What did they do? What really causes heart issues? What really causes cholesterol? And then, you know, whatever. It's just, it's reshaping perspective. It's reshaping the priority list, and it's shaping what people are looking at. And on some aspects, that's a good thing. On some aspects, it's like I just said, it's making people prioritize their health and that type of thing. But on the other end, it's giving more of a platform for the negativity, because more people are online and they're giving their honest opinions about XYZ. Just like you said earlier, a lot of people they let their emotions sometimes, or more times than not, really overshadow logic.
Right.
So it gives the mass media the placement to put more negativity to shape people's perspective about the world even more so.
Okay.
But at the same time, you also get platforms like this that are popping up now. More and more people are starting their own podcasts and giving their own perspectives, and you're getting more perspectives and more positions, and that's a good thing.
Right.
To where you get, you know, the mainstream media version, but then you get boots on the ground version, then you get the dude on the couch that's watching both of them, his version, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I feel like there's definitely positive and negative to the schematic of things, of where it's being led to.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I would be lying if I said that it was all good, but I would also be lying if I would say if it was all bad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of, you know, how we fix the situation, like how we mentioned earlier, it's knowledge and awareness. We have to create a better picture of what our options, our opportunities really are, because we have a lot of opportunities. When I hear what's his name, Boosie, when you hear somebody like Boosie talking about, yeah, we about to buy this land and put this all black city up, you know what I mean? Like, it's a situation of where the pressure that we being put under right now is really creating diamonds in that rough. Like, one of the reasons, I know that black people are going to be great regardless, but one of the reasons why we have our levels of superstars that we have is because of situations that they was brought up in. So they had to be a level of resourceful, and they gained a level of understanding about what was going on that was outside of the mainstream because they were living it. And I think that's what's happening with this coronavirus thing. You're getting people that starting their own brands, they podcasts, they apparel lines, or whatever it is. You know, I'm on my Facebook and I'm like, I didn't know that you draw, cuz. I didn't know that you even knew about this, you know, or whatever it is, you know. And I'm thinking that that's happening on such a scale,
Right.
That it's amazing to see, quite frankly, and it's gonna avail us to so many other options because people are thinking along them lines, whereas in the past they was almost just too comfortable with the system being okay, you know, not perfect, but okay enough to not need mass change enough.
Okay.
But because of what's going on, because of the police brutality is being put on Front Street, you know, you have more and more people that's learning about the law.
Right.
That's learning about how to even converse with police officers and that type of thing. That's a part of it.
Yeah.
Then you got people that's joining the police force. That's like, okay, we need good cops. You know what I'm saying? So let's join. You know, like it's
Attack the problem from within.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that prior to a lot of this stuff going on, a lot of it being Front Street. Not to say that it wasn't going on. A lot of it was going on the whole time.
Right.
Now they just got cameras on it.
Yeah.
But now there are more cameras on it. Now there are more eyes and ears to that. You know what I'm saying? You're getting more people who maybe at one point in time may not have even considered, you know, being about that perspective.
Right.
You know, black-owned businesses is becoming popular to say, let alone shop from, you know, or to have. You know what I mean? And all of that is needed. We need our levels of black-owned businesses. We need to network those businesses together. We need to network the schools into the businesses, like how colleges have agreements with corporations in terms of internships.
Okay.
And that type of thing. We need to start that. We need to get out of the mindset of fixing flips, in my opinion, in terms of real estate is concerned. I feel like we need to be holding on to said real estate, renting them out, and, you know, for our community building. You can't flip it to somebody that just got the bread. Right. And say you building a community. No, you just building your pocket at that point. Not to say that that's even bad all the way, but what do you then do with that? If you go give it to the system that's
right,
you know,
another way.
Yeah,
right.
In another way, then are you really building? More farms and that type of thing need to pop up, you know, with the urban farming or hydroponics or whatever it is. And these are things that we could do. And these are things that in the past it took a lot more money to do. Today, a lot of it's so widespread. You have so many companies that's involved in trying to get as many customers as possible that the ease of entry is just better. But you have to think to do it. You know what I mean? And then we need organizers. Okay. Organizers of that energy. You know what I'm saying? Organizers of these individual businesses so they're not just isolated. You know, most artists, most creatives aren't business minded. And I don't think that they should be. I think that all of their energy and effort should be on their creativity. Right. But you also need the organizer to say, okay, I personally know, and I'm actually doing this, so I'll just a personal example. I know 4 different girls that do hair in their basement. Right. It takes an organizer to come in and be like, look, here's the salon, y'all 4 go. You know, work this salon. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It takes a level of big picture. Right. You know, viewing the big picture. And then in terms of mindsets, we need more people to do the therapy thing. So they can have a better outlook on themselves and in the world and, you know, what's possible and that type of thing. Okay. Cuz our mindset, I think, is destroying us the most of anything. Even more so than the systems in some ways. The system makes it easy to be pessimistic. Right. But it's still a choice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. It's still a choice. And the choice becomes easier if your awareness of what already is going on that's positive is greater. Right. So, you know, you take your personal responsibility in doing that. We just gotta stop. And one of the last things that I'll wrap up is we gotta stop letting petty differences and disagreements like stop us from working together. You know what I'm saying?
Totally agree.
Me and Germ, we go back and forth all the time on different perspectives of things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But smart dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just shun him because we don't agree on everything. Right. But I know a lot of our community will be like, even down to you from this street and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. You might be from this street or you might be from, you know, this city or whatever the case may be. Like, we all live in the same problems more times than not. We're similar in more ways than we're different. You know what I'm saying? So we really gotta just. I can't even say get on one accord because I don't think that should even happen.
Yeah, I don't think that needs to happen.
I don't think that needs to happen.
This is like one of the main reasons I wanted to do this is to have two people with two different perspectives.
Yeah, perspectives, right.
Talk about the same thing so people can know, like, you can.
Both are valid.
Yeah, you know.
Both are super valid and
Right.
both have their place within the schematic of how we move the entirety forward.
Facts.
And we need to have more conversations like this, even amongst friends in their house.
Right.
Don't feel uncomfortable to have certain conversations and don't feel uncomfortable in bringing up certain things. Because what I found is, for years, I remained quiet about how I felt about things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For years. And then once I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I'm being misunderstood too much. I kind of need to explain a little bit more in depth. But as I started doing it, I started realizing that people that I would have never thought had the type of thoughts that they have are super in depth in that thought process.
Right.
And you would have never known because the conversation hadn't been brought up.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that within the construct of all this quote unquote social distancing, we still can have conversation and we still can build, within whatever they decide to do.
Right.
Because our existence, it's like the sun. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to block the sun but for so long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need to allow our existence to be that powerful. And it is. We have the numbers and we have the capability to make whatever it is they decide to do really obsolete. We just got to take those steps and take those sacrifices sometimes to push ourselves forward. But we can definitely do it, though. Most definitely.
Dope. So then we're going to turn into Germz, the 2020 agenda, and what's going on with it, and what can people do to get out of it.
He said so much, boy. That's the problem. It's so much. Right?
Yeah, facts.
It's a
I
lot,
can still
man.
keep going for real, but I'm
Yeah.
going to chill.
Yeah.
But
Gosh, man, it's a whole lot. Well, I'm gonna start it off with this, man, and this is the knowledge that I've come to acquire from God, and this is Proverbs 1:7. It say, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." So right there is like, man, God got all the information you need, but when you go against Him, bad things happen. Now, whether you believe in my God or His God or this guy's God, this guy's God, I would believe that your God had rules, you know what I'm saying? And if your God got rules, I would think you should follow them, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, people don't understand how deep it is because the people I feel that run the world with the hidden agenda, they got a God.
Right.
They listen to His rules. And this is why they're so much better, because even though they disagree, like, for instance, I might disagree with him and this and that, I support his company and stuff like that. And it's almost like, yeah, we're going to have differences, bro. That's normal. Like, I might think Braun better than Mike. But somebody would, on a lower level, would take that and just be like, yeah, he a different kind of dude because he thinks Braun better than Mike.
Right.
And would just like cut me off from everything
Completely.
else. Yeah, completely.
All
Because I
that.
got a pen. Realize, like I said, if we all like the same thing, bro, it
Right.
wouldn't even be no flavor. It wouldn't be no Xbox, PlayStation debate. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to have things like that. So the 2020, I guess you say agenda, which is the agenda that's been playing all the time. It's like the mark of the beast. That's what the Bible teaches. The mark of the beast. It's an enslavement of people, because even though black people getting destroyed, white people starting to get some of that fire.
no bullshit.
And they don't know what to do. I'm like, yeah, see, we even already grew up, like,
Yeah.
we was talking about when, the food shortage and all that happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, the whole time, God, y'all like prepared us already, because we been broke, so we used to eat oodles and noodles and stuff. They not.
They not.
You know what I'm saying? So now they don't know what to do. They freaking out because it is a lot of black people, but also fear is like contagious. So if I'm real fearful, like say we got a whole group of people and he come out and he fearful, he can scare others.
Right.
Even though it ain't really no fear, but he like I said, he can impose himself on others just like anybody can. Like I was scared, so you can impose yourself. So I'm also saying that, but the 2020 agenda to me is it's just more of the same process of the old of the 1776 independence and all that. They try and make slaves, man. That Hunger Game thing, that's real. LeBron and them is the test subject of the Hunger Games. So it's, to me, that's real. They try to make everybody slaves and people just can't fathom that's what happened. I might look all around. I just saw Walmart come out with a store somewhere. It's in one of the country or states like Kentucky or something, but it's a store where they're about to do a test run where they're going to run nothing but cashless checkouts.
Okay.
So like the self-checkout jump. If you do that and it work, look how many people lose their jobs, bro.
Right.
That's a lot of people, black or white. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about it too is I gotta help my brothers first, and it's nothing against white people or anybody. I gotta help my brothers first, but the white people that want to come along and listen, they more than welcome. Like God said, you got an ear, let them hear. But we so destroyed, and people kind of look at us because we like make the world move. We I tell you all the time, I'm like, dog, just think about we just stopped. We the electricians, we the mechanics, we the builders. You throw the Migos in it, they just like all the slaves that built the countries and stuff is us. And we just like, we ain't doing nothing today. Boy, the world gonna stop. It's gonna stop, but but you don't see it that way because, like I said, there's so many things about your feelings, and you're not looking at what's logical. Like for instance, he was like this is how something can make you stupid. We all can count. 1 + 1 is 2 or whatever you think. So just we're gonna say basic math, right? People who learn basic math their whole life. And in the Bible, it tells you Christ died for 3 days. He's dead for 3 days and 3 nights. But yet Christians will celebrate Good Friday and then Easter Sunday, saying that's the day he rose. I'm like, bro, that's not even 3 days.
Not 3 days.
you sow in your feelings. You can't even count no more. So that would be a reason why somebody wouldn't believe the Bible, or like let's say he say something about what I'm saying, the Egyptians or whatever. It'll come to a problem where your common sense goes out the window because you've been indoctrinated by how everybody feel, and then nobody wants to be an outcast. So it's like as soon as I become an outcast, it's a problem. You can't be the one that says no. You can't be the one that say the earth flat. And the thing about it is it's nothing wrong with saying that because you could be wrong, he could be wrong.
Right.
But you got to pick a side. Don't pick a side because your feelings is involved and you don't want to. I don't want Danny to be my friend no more because Danny could be fucking wrong. Or you want to say you don't be my friend no more. I could be wrong.
Right.
But do your own research, do your own things, and that's what I've done my whole. You know what I'm saying? I've said my whole life. But I'm gonna say around like the time my sister died, so I was like about 15 years ago. I was just like, yo, the world ain't right. Something ain't wrong. So the more I kept doing research, I came across the Illuminati stuff. I came across all this. I went through all the religions. I went through space. I went through that. Like, you got to do all this if you want to be, like, aware of what's going on. Now, mind you, it is some people that don't.
Right.
Totally understand it. Cool. Not a problem. You want me to sleep? Cool. I'd rather be up so I know what's going on, so I'm aware when it happens, like, okay, that's cool. That's what's going to happen. Right. Instead of just me living my day life and it's like, boom, like, bruh, like, where my money go? Like, I'm a slave. Like, what happened? We got chips in our head. It's almost like it's going to be that kind of reality of, like I said, the Hunger Games, man. When I first seen that movie, I was on the phone talking to my lady, and nobody ever really talked about the movie. Maybe because of the way, the surrealness and the bone chilling it is. Okay. I'm, like, laying in the bed on the phone, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, this show just seems so dark, but I thought it was a commercial. So I said, let me go to the phone, put the phone down, and I'm watching. I'm like, bro, are they picking people's children to go fight for entertainment? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is crazy. And the thing about it is there's no rebellion. They done did this for 75 years. And it took one girl to just, you know what I'm saying, which is always going to take somebody to come up. But I'm like, 70, y'all allowed this for 75 years. I'd rather die trying during the rebellion than you let that go past a year, bro. That's crazy. But at the same time, a lot of people think it's like only one leader. Like, dog, he can be a leader. I can be a leader. You can be a leader. It ain't just one leader. We don't have to be just under Martin or under Malcolm. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's multiple leaders because all of us got different talents too. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say Tom Brady, he the leader maybe of the whole team or one of the captains, but you all know for a team you got like 6 captains. Right. You need multiple people in charge of different, like you say, different things. It's no reason why those girls in the basement don't have a shop or not in the shop. Like the shop I go to, it's a shop around here in Fordsville. It's black owned. Okay. Girl owned it. So she got another job. I think it's like some type of little nurse or something. But it's black owned, black people. They little things, whatever. But it's black, and I love it because they're trying to help the ones around them. So I'm trying to get my niece, if she's serious, to go here because another thing is we don't love each other to the point. I'm not so sure y'all saw this video. It was a video on Instagram, Facebook. Facebook. It was a black lady who owned like a restaurant, and she went to like McDonald's, and it was 2 black girls there. And she's like, "How much y'all make?"
How much y'all make?
Yeah, it was like we made like
that.
$7 an hour. She was like, "Man, I thought y'all like 13, something like that." It was like for real. It was like, yeah, and they just bounced.
Leave out right now.
Yeah, and the owners like,
That
"Where
was
y'all
lit.
going?" I'm like, "Bro, that's love though."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if the restaurant fail, it's like, dog, it won't fail because we always gonna put into each other. We do it now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is we don't own nothing. Like niggas will argue, they was arguing about RG3 when the whole Kirk Cousins situation about black and white quarterback this. And I said, bro, y'all arguing about black and white quarterbacks. Like, bro, we don't got no black owners.
Who on the team?
Yeah, we passed that. We know all the sports is dominated by black people. Like we're over that. But it's like y'all don't understand. We don't have no ownership or nothing. Like it's cool to own a house, but let's talk about owning the land. Like it's you know what I'm saying. It's different levels, and it will come with understanding. So like I said, the agenda that's at hand, I see it happening because people are so blinded by everything in their phone.
Right.
Like they phone and the social media, all this type of thing. It's a good device because I use it all the time. But it can also be a bad device, like I said, about what you look at. Like TikTok, that's one of the dumbest things in the world, bro. Like by far, all it is things that we already seen on movies and stuff, and somebody reenacting it. Have I laughed at a couple of them? Yeah, but for you to sit on your phone 3 hours a day, 2 hours a day, just looking at niggas do interactions of movies that you already seen, or reenactments, whatever you want to call it, that's insane to me. So the agenda at hand, like I said, the slavery agenda, I see it happening more and more because, like I said, it's a lot of things people don't have. People don't save. People don't share. People don't help nothing. Like I said, if he got a problem or whatever, he got no friends, he might know an electrician. Like my brothers, electrician, a mechanic, plumber. We could build a house.
Right.
But what y'all thinking so small and thinking like, man, they can't happen this and that. You don't know what can happen, bro. You ain't even tried it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all in a state where this is where I guess the white person or white man or government, I'm not gonna say the white man, it's not all white people, but the oppressors have put you in a state, bro, where you don't even believe in yourself no more.
Facts.
And you know what I'm saying? So it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing we can't do, but the problem is y'all not even trying. So like I said, you don't know. You know what I mean? And then like I said, for all the hate, y'all we arguing about LeBron and Mike, who better, man, this and that, this and I'm like, bruh, shouldn't we just be already happy and grateful that we arguing about a black man being the best and not no white dude? The only white dude I can think about is Bird.
Two black dudes. Only white,
Bird. He might be the only one, and he a dog, but like just you know what I'm saying? Just think about that, or like, you know what I'm saying, how we crucify each other for no reason. Like I saw an interview one day when they were talking to Prince and was trying to make him say something bad about Mike.
Yeah,
and he you know what I'm saying, deflected. I'm like, that's right, bro. You can't talk about your brother like that. Even if I know Danny wrong, I'm not about to sit here and shame this nigga, bro.
Right.
Because that's what they want us to do. The whole light skin thing, this and that. Like, bro, y'all, we play into it. Like, bro, stop playing into it, because the more we play into it, it becomes a problem. It's no reason for us to have a conversation, no matter how much we disagree. The fact we're having a conversation is that's what it is. Because if you don't talk about it, who knows? Like for instance, all this little pedophilia that's going on right now. I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure almost not everybody's family, but a lot of these black families and Spanish families, it's somebody, uncle or aunt or somebody molesting children.
Right.
R. Kelly got molested, so it's only right for him to molest other people. You know what I'm saying? He been through it, so now he traumatized a 7-year-old kid or whatever you was, like 10 years, and it's a lady molesting the thing. But maybe he was too scared to talk about it,
right.
Because as soon as you talk about something, somebody shame you, all this and that. I just seen a girl who got beat up because she told her mom about, you know what I'm saying, being, you know what I'm saying, molested, and her mom just beat her, and her mom knew it. I met girls and knew girls like that, like their boyfriend was molesting their daughter, and they did nothing about it. And I'm like, now look at your daughter, she gay and this and that, and now she's super damaged. You know what I'm saying? To the point where she'll know what's going on. So they agenda, I give them credit. The dudes who run the world who believe in the devil, boy, they some. And listen, that plan is crazy because it works, and then it's crazy for the simple fact it works because it's not that many of them. It's only a couple thousand here, a couple thousand there. It's not that many of them, and it works to perfection because we play into it.
Right.
Like we constantly give them to them. Like for instance, when I was younger, somebody told me, hey, you had to get your when you get your what's it called, your not Social Security, but when you get your credit ran,
Okay.
Yeah.
you lose points. I said, bro, that's insane. That's like me counting my own money. Every time I count my money, I gotta remove $1 because I'm over here counting my money because I should know how much I have.
Right.
But it's like nobody stands up, says anything about it. So you know what they gonna do? We're gonna keep robbing them. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the taxes, dog. You gonna look at taxes. Taxes are involuntary. Like you don't have to pay taxes, but they press you out. Ain't nobody bucking. So yeah, everybody gonna pay taxes. It's
and if we go but so long without nobody saying nothing, we gonna raise it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
and so it's even to the degree of like a Democrat or Republican, right? I was like, bruh, like, don't get it twisted. If let's say I wasn't woke and I wanted to pick a side, the Republicans is the way for black people because they don't necessarily do nothing to hurt black people, but they also have those things where they're building businesses. I said, bro, Democrats are murderers, rapists. These niggas are the most foul niggas on planet Earth, bro. Like if you really look at a system, like the black people suffer the most during Democratic parties. And people don't want to acknowledge that, right? But even if I remove both of them and put them back together, a nigga, like, let's say he Democrat and Republican, I would say, no, we should raise taxes. He said we don't raise taxes. Neither one of them are being discussed as if it's right or wrong. It's just which is better for these people and our people. So let's say we raising taxes for 4 years, then when he get in office, they take him back down.
Right.
So all it is y'all get hurt for 4 years, we get hurt for 4 years. Y'all be out for 4 years, we get messed up for 4 years. That's crazy. And y'all and people just keep going to it, keep going like, bro, they could do whatever they wanted to y'all, and it's like it wouldn't even matter. Like for instance, it was Corona, right? The riots happened, bro. I didn't hear anything about Corona. People were outside elbow to elbow, ain't no, and it's like, dang. And then as soon as the riots start, oh, Corona. It's
Right.
back. Yeah, it's even higher this time. And y'all freaking out. So it's like, come on, man. Like, the agenda is crazy. Like I said, the agenda is a world enslavement. The things I feel like we can do to get out of it will go back to the Bible and following God's laws. And what I mean by that is fixing what's in the black households. Because the black households are destroyed. I grew up in them. I still see it. Yeah, even Latinos, like, it's so much force, it's so much this and that, but at the same time, it's a bunch of hypocrisy and stuff. You can't tell a child about Christmas and you lie to them. Then they find out, oh, well, it was a little lie, this and that. But then when they lie to you, it's a problem. It's so much damage with the households. Why is there so many single mothers? Why is there, you know what I'm saying? Because you got single dads too. Why do you have a girl that got 5 kids? And no dad is around. Then people complain about, oh, well, this and that. Like, bro, it's so much stuff broken. And the biggest thing about it that I've seen from people, they think the kids don't see this.
Right.
And the kids don't feel like, bro, you do know you was a kid.
The kids don't understand.
They understand on a kid's level.
Right.
They don't have to understand, but when they go back and look like myself, I'm like, damn.
Right.
They was doing that.
And we had that conversation before.
It make you think about it. Like I said, I was watching Ace Ventura, and I ain't gonna say it's a kid's show, but that's like a family movie kind of. And in the Joan, when he say the girl dog, she giving him head. I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. My brother was like maybe 17, 18. He cracking up. He get the joke. I don't. But then I go back and look. I'm like, damn, bruh. That was in front of children.
Right.
I remember that. So it's like, you're not, like, even the parents, like, bro, being a parent is more than one thing. Like, for instance, I don't have nothing wrong with women working. Right? That's not a problem, especially where it is now, because you got to work like 3-4 jobs just stay afloat, unless you got a great job. But I think it was the women's liberation movement. Yeah. They let women work. Right? And they was like, man, you think that was because we cared about women? It was 2 reasons. He said, 1, we could tax more people because now you got more workers. And 2, we get the women out the household. So now we can send your kids early to school and indoctrinate them. Mm-hmm. When we go to school, bro, like, you've been to school, I've been to school, we graduated, dog, for 13 years. Besides basic reading, writing, and arithmetic, and basic math, a lot of that is not for us. It's foolishness. We don't use it on a daily basis. And I'm not saying you can't be an architect or whatever or a scientist and you got to go into certain chemistry levels, but I'm like, bro, on a daily basis, like a nigga that takes out trash, he don't got know nothing about chemistry, bro. That is irrelevant, but they force these things onto you, and your parents not knowing better because they're not there. The system is now raising your children.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And it becomes a problem. So now if you was to preach that to women now, it'll be like all this and that, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I want for myself. But that's how the Bible said, because even though she a woman, it doesn't mean she don't have other jobs. She could be at home watching the kids and still making clothes for the community, making food. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so many things that we got problems with, but it really starts in the homes, the way we eat. You can't sit here and say, oh, I got diabetes, high blood pressure. Like, what you eating? All pork, all shellfish, all stuff that's going to raise this through the roof. Then you eating, like, for instance, like, I made lemonade one day, you know what I'm saying? I was at my mom's house, I made lemonade, and she was like, yeah, we was younger, we made that. My mom about 60. She made that. We also got away from different things because of taste and then laziness. Like, bruh, it don't take that long to make bread.
Yeah,
it don't take that long to make a lot of stuff from scratch, but dang, it's at the grocery store, I just grab it. Boom, grab it, pay for it, and go. And now it makes you lazy. So they're putting a system, and then we make this bad choice. Like you said, out of the grocery store, it's 10 things, 8 things is bad. And what we do? Pick all 8 of them.
Pick all 8 of them.
You don't even look, you know what I'm saying? You don't even look towards the 2, so it become an issue. And you're not, like I said, you're not realizing that because you so stuck on fear, because that's how Satan works on you. You so stuck on fear. For instance, my man, his son was like maybe a year and a half. He gave him a jelly sandwich, right? I said, where the peanut butter at? Ain't no sandwich. Where the peanut butter at? He like, yeah, I don't want him to be allergic. I said, bruh, it's better for you to find out now while you're here than him go off and he just happen to eat peanut butter because he's a baby. He don't know what peanut butter really is.
Right.
And he go to somebody else's house and he start eating peanut butter and he freaking out and dying. You could have prevented that. But you so in fear because people are allergic to peanut butter, you won't know until you give it to them. Mm-hmm. It got to be some type of trial and error.
Right.
But the parents will be guiding it. But like our people, like I said, don't see this. If somebody want to try to do good and they'll still be constantly doing bad. Man, my life messed up because I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you forgot that you was drunk last night fucking with them 3 hoes. But that way ain't nothing to do with it. I mean, kinda. You know what I'm saying? So then there's no accountability because now you want to blame everybody. It's almost like, dog, we in a situation. Hey, white people, come save us. What y'all gonna do for us? Y'all did this, and like I said, it ain't about that. It's just about saving ourselves. Because like I said, the more you look at it, bro, like I said, we make plenty of money. And I think during this, like the 60s when Martin Luther King in, everybody was like, he got killed because of the whole color thing and bring people together. I said, nah, bro, it's an interview. You can probably go find it. It's a little audio. Mm-hmm. They were about to take the money out all the banks and put them in the black banks. Yeah. They was like, oh no, because at that time blacks was making the most money, but it wasn't like, you know, big money as far as that. But collectively, we had the most money. So they like, bro, if y'all do that, y'all go, it's gonna collapse everything. And then y'all gonna be ahead of us. So it's similar to it is now, but the issue is like you're looking for a leader. You're looking for somebody to come save you and do it. So it's like, man, we could do this, but what Dr. Umar doing? Or we could do this, we're not. And all that, bro. You can just run your own community. Like I said, I was just doing math one day, bro. $25 a week, everybody in the neighborhood. Man, you're not gonna get everybody. So let's cut it down to maybe half. We could have $500,000 in a year.
Right.
Off of $25, and we all got $25 because we all done spent on some foolishness. Right. Weed, drinks, video games, something we don't need. We all go through it. We're spending on junk and all this. And it's like, bro, we can't even get that small of a concept down to help build ourselves. For instance, you can't be mad. Like you can't glorify girls who twerking and they get mad when the girls are hoes are pregnant. It's a contradiction. But don't nobody say nothing. Or like T.I. and I'm talking about the youngest, this and that. I'm like, bro, T.I., you forgot you was talking about selling drugs, trap music, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking you for doing it because you're talking about what you want, but you got to see how it affects the younger one because it affected me. Right. I was listening to Jeezy. I was listening to 50 Cent. So that's what you want to be like. We don't got nobody. And then when we do have somebody who positive, y'all shame them. Right. Like Nas, bro, I love Nas. And I'm like, yeah, now he got this thing where if he makes bad music, well, not bad, he makes the positive music, y'all shame him. Then when he make the Uchi Wallies and all that, he get glorified. But I'm like, yeah, but he's still part of the problem.
And he gets called a hypocrite too.
Yeah, and he gets called a hypocrite. So it's like, dog, we still constantly shame each other, bro. It's the crazy thing in the world. Like, for instance, they was making people choose between LeBron or Steph Curry, like, LeBron, he ain't better Curry. I'm like, brother, it's the same thing. LeBron ain't never had no incident about cheating on his wife. He got family, kids, just like Steph Curry. This is the same thing, but now I can see it's a light-skinned, dark-skinned thing. It's a West Coast, East Coast thing. They just dividing us again, and y'all keep falling for it, like, every time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, not even say, all right, cool, I don't care about all that. I just want to do what I want to do. Cool, we understand that. But the thing about like that person is he pick a side. He don't want to be a part of it. But it's somebody who wants to still be dealing with this guy and then still want the woke knowledge from Daniel. It's not going to work. It's a contradiction because he's trying to get you away from that because it's really not good. Right. But this person don't know it, but he's stuck in his ways, and he's cool with that, though. And it's okay. Like I said, we can't save everybody. Everybody don't get saved. I know this. At one point, I was thinking like everybody can get saved, but it's not. But it's like pulling some things because some people just don't know, bro. Like white people, they be saying like somebody was like white people or this and that. I'm like, bro, do you realize white people only get the images they see on TV and stuff about black people? A lot of them ain't never been to the hood. A lot of them just don't. Yeah, it's stereotypes, and the stereotypes they go so far and they run because nobody is fact checked. Like my man said, who's going to fact check the fact checkers? The fact that Facebook, bro, when it happened to me on Facebook, I was like, what is this? Yeah. And it was like, yeah, this not real information. I think I put something about Oprah talking about touching some kids. I'm like, bro, how is that not a fact? She said out her mouth is a video recorded. Like, what is this? And the thing about it is, was somebody be like, yeah, well, it wasn't on CBN or it wasn't on NBC, and it's like, okay, so now they've established things that are the authority. Right. But the thing about it is even with him or with me, My authority is God. God go call Christ, man, woman. He got authority himself, but he doesn't have multiple authorities. Like, bruh, NBC and the government and North Korea and the Jewish people, they all can't be my authority. Because you got different masters and they got different rules. Right. So if you try to have different rules, you can't please everybody. It's impossible, you know what I'm saying? It's impossible, like Danny tell me, go put OW20 and you tell me put 5W30. When I put that in there, I please you, but he hates me. When I put that one in there, I please him, but you hate me. So now you trying to figure out a way to please both of y'all. So know what you do? You do nothing.
Right.
You become neutral.
And it's crazy because it's like that situation is so frequent and so small. It could happen in a situation that's like as far as your job. Like
it's every day.
I could be an employee and have 2 managers that I work that
they got different perspectives,
right? You know what I'm saying, and that gets you in. You'll get in trouble at work.
One or the other one,
right? Mm-hmm. So it's like it's a lot of work to be done.
It's a lot of work to be done, but like I said, I think it really starts with just people inside their own homes and their morals. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be a hypocrite. That's one that got to go out the window. Like it's certain things that we have to just like eliminate. Like to me, this is me, and I know people go through problems, bruh. I done seen niggas with no arms, no legs, conjoined twins. I don't care who you are, black, white, whatever. Suicide is not an option, bruh. It is not an option to me. I'm so sorry. Now, mind you could have been raped and all this, and I don't know what you've been through, but just know somebody's getting a lot worse. Like, just always remember that. And so we have these type of things where, like I said, nothing's spoken about. And then if we do have something that we can, like, really benefit off of, some stupid nigga sells out to a white man. Like, for instance, the versus battle. How did Apple get control of that? That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
there was no
like people. I didn't even know how that started.
That was straight black people though. There was no verses of
the money.
Yeah,
but we got money, so that's what I'm saying. So then it's like, okay, not even saying Jay or somebody, but we got collectively money. We could just make another streaming service, or even go to Tidal, because Tidal apparently pays more than iTunes on it. Like, way
they do,
more.
they do. But
we can't.
Jay gets shamed for Tidal.
You can't.
Because it's more expensive.
You can't keep feeding the monsters, bruh. They already monsters and already cleaning house. And like I was telling somebody, I was like, it's a dog eat dog world. Like for instance, you don't even realize, like, bro, when I was younger, it might have been 12 cell phone companies. It's 3.
Damn near.
And they keep falling. No, it is 3. It's Verizon, it's AT&T, and it's T-Mobile. That's it.
Because T-Mobile just bought Sprint.
Yeah, that's it. All the other ones, they be like, nah, I got Boost Crack. Like, bro, those are smaller divisions of the same monster, bro.
Cricket is Verizon.
Like, bro, I was looking at like Disney owned damn near everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, bro, eventually it's going to be a part where we don't have nothing and we're just going to one source.
Yeah.
And it's going to ruin us. Like, for instance, like, we at Walmart's now and Targets, which is not a problem, but you know what happened? When our parents was younger, they had mom and pop stores. Shops. And just because that person can get on time and Walmart was a little bigger, you start going there, and you don't even realize this is a billion-dollar company.
Because Walmart is open to Sunrise.
Yeah, supporting their family within the community, keeping it all good. I'm like, bro, we got away from all of that. We just started giving all our power to the monsters. Let's go ahead. Boom, let's go ahead.
Though.
It is, but it comes from laziness. You lazy, you don't want to do nothing. Like, bro, like my mom, she been growing crops. I'm like, bro, it's not even hard.
It's not.
Put the seed in the junk, get your little dirt together, boom. It grows by itself. Like, you don't even gotta do nothing. But like I say, it's convenience. Like more like for instance, I've been eating, I guess, fresher vegetables like grown out the grocery store. Because the one at the grocery store, I think they're sprayed or tainted or something. Because I ate, my girl, she brought home some squash and all that, and zucchini. And we had that before, tomatoes, all that. I was eating, I was like, bro, am I tripping? This shit like hit different. Like it tastes different, all that shit. But it's the same way she cook it. Like she cooked the ones we get from Walmart, the grocery store. Yeah. And then we was talking and she was like, yeah, it did taste a little different. I thought, okay, so I'm not tripping. Like it does. Just the fact that you got watermelon people buying. She got mad at me one day because it was a watermelon. I was like, bro, it don't got no seeds in it. And when I was a kid, they used to throw me off like, bro, how is this an orange with no seeds? Like how they getting another orange?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm older, I'm understanding like, oh, y'all making these. Y'all cross splices. So now is it losing nutrients and things? And people would just be like, nah, bro, it's an orange. What you tripping off? I'm like, bro, that matters.
That definitely matters.
Yeah, because it could have been some nutrients in it that was meant for me, and now it's not there, and now I'm eating it, so I'm getting the same taste, but I'm not getting the nutritional part that I need. Like he said, your body works in a certain way. I was telling people, I was like, bro, you do know people are not fat because, like, well, from my studies, you're not fat because you eat too many calories. Because a banana and fruits got more calories than some of the sweets you eat. The issue is your body recognizes natural substances that's supposed to be in it. So when that don't see sugar, your body break it down like a thing. It see sugar, it see potassium. Okay, that's cool. We send that there. We send that there. But then when you eating some potato chips and they got maltodextrin, rhodium cyanide, your body like, what the hell is this? All right, we don't know what it is. It kind of look like that. Fat. So yeah, we're gonna store this fat or try to get rid of it as possible as we can. And you're not destroying it. You're destroying your body. Yeah. Like when people pass out from alcohol, I was like, bro, you don't pass out because you've been drinking. You pass out because your body has to shut down or you're going to die. Like your body already set to handle things. I'm like, yeah, but if you're unaware of stuff like they say sugar diabetes, I say, bro, if diabetes really came from sugar, from sugar eating sugar, I know I would have had it. My Kool-Aid, I put a whole bag of sugar in the jump. Yeah. I should have been dead a long time ago. It's niggas in Jamaica that be eating straight raw sugar cane. Boom. Eating them Jones. But they tell you over here, sugar's bad, sugar's this and that. And I'm like, yeah, y'all don't see how it's almost like it's like a bait and switch. When we was kids, they had super size, Biggie size. So now people was like, oh, we're getting fat and this and that. So you know what they did? It's the same thing. They just switched the name of the cup. The small cup in Wendy's is huge.
Right.
That joke look like a large. I'm like, but it's the small. They like, yeah. I'm like, bro, but if you don't apply a Biggie size and a certain title, because people love titles, then you can tell somebody they sick, and he be like, nah, you ain't no doctor. Yeah. Cool. Not knowing that doctor charges, like, me get that money. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I done know people, friends, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put their business out, who family done died because of doctors and missed malpractices and all that, bro, just to get some money because of these little colon surgery. Them must be like $100K. Like that's big money. I was like, but you don't know that. So what you don't know, yours going, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to hurt you in a way. But it's like, yeah, if you're not an entitlement or something, you're not a doctor, you're not police, you're not a teacher, you can't tell me nothing. Right. And I was like, bro, but how you know they not in a position where they just getting money to lie to you?
Okay,
I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So it really starts in the home. We got a re-education on, like I said, laws within ourselves, all that. Y'all niggas complain all this about white people cops killing black people, but yet little kids are killing each other when Ham in Chicago. Crazy, bro. Like, I don't see no justice. Y'all support Black Lives Matter, the movement, not the actual group, the whatever that thing is, the group. And I'm like, bruh, yeah, whatever you want to call that thing. Y'all niggas, people support that, and I be like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. I'm like, bruh, y'all realize they don't really come out if they can make money? When it's something with police or something major, I was like, bro, what was the Black Lives Matter when all these black kids were shooting each other? You know what I'm saying? It's to a point where it's like, are you even seeing what's going on, or do you want to see? Right. Because if you want to see, just take your glasses off and like, look, bro, we're a little dirty. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little messed up. It's trash. But sure rather keep them on with the blinders and just see what you want to see, not realizing, oh man, you think a chip is real? Yeah, it's on your credit card. Yeah, it's on your license. That's mandatory. You gotta get that license he's talking about. That's mandatory. Yeah. Or you can't, or no, you know what I'm saying? At first, the passport was good. That might not need to be good no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like y'all not seeing, they like the Fed. I said the Fed shut down. Well, what does that mean? They're not making no more money. It's just the money in circulation. But like I said, you're not thinking about it like that because at the bottom of your head, you like, bruh, ain't no way these things about to do it like that. Like, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They don't care. So it's like if we fix ourselves, they're nothing because the only reason why they're strict in numbers is, bruh, because we play into this game. Right. It's a stupid game, but we play into this game. So whether you believe in the Bible or you don't, if you play into this game, you cause your own suffering. Like I said, the fatherless homes or this and that, or wise dudes out here having 4 or 5 children by girls, because the dudes got blamed too, and ain't just the girls, but ain't nobody checking that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And there's no checking. Like, dog, 6ix9ine ain't the first nigga I heard snitching. Y'all like Alpo and Frank Lucas. Y'all don't shame them. Why you shame 6ix9ine? Because he got rainbow hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? What is it? What's the difference between them? Because if we go only way it can be right is if we do it across the board, bro. Like, it got to be the same instance. Like Dave Chappelle said, you can't say it's illegal to pee on a 15-year-old girl, but yet it's a boy that did the wrestling move on his friend, and he was 16 and he went to jail for life. Like, you go to jail for life, bro, you can get peed on there. Like, it got to be straight across the board. You can't pick and choose because of color and this and that. And that's what it really is about. Because they keep saying equal rights. I'm like, bro, but nothing's equal. I could be a PG right now. My test dark as hell. It's illegal. I go across an imaginary line in D.C., it's legal. Within our own states and countries, in counties, there's different laws. It's like a bunch of laws of madness, and ain't nobody said it. So for black people and Latino people, and everybody around the world, but definitely blacks and Latinos, we gotta rebuild the home, bro. Like family, like you can't talk to my daughter unless you got some money to give me. Straight like that. They're like, what you mean? I'm like, I'm not really selling my daughter, but at the same time, this is an investment because you're not about to sit here and give her 3 kids and leave her. then I got to take care of her. That wasn't the point of me giving her off to you. You know what I'm saying? But there's no checking. There's no checking. There's no accountability in our community at all.
Right.
And I know I'm tired of it. I don't know about y'all, but I say all the time, I'm just sick of it, but there's no accountability. Like, you can't be wrong for nothing. Like, bro, it's okay to be wrong. That's how we learn. You check yourself, figure out what's going on. Oh, I did that wrong, did that wrong, did that wrong. Okay, how do I fix it? That don't even happen. It's just like, man, I fucked up, whatever it is, what it is. I don't care who got hurt in the process. I don't care who did that. And it's like, dang, we'll never get no higher if the accountability doesn't go up at all. The accountability has to go through that's the first thing. The accountability got to go up. Everybody got to be accountable for it. Because like I said, even though I see the streets I'm trying to stop, I know I was once a part of it, and I was accountable. I was fucking up, beating up niggas because neighborhoods. A neighborhood that don't even love me. A neighborhood that's not even mine. I was that. But I know that I'm trying to change it, so when I see my younger ones, I try to make them better than me. They don't do that neither. You know what? It's hating. Well, why are you mad that the younger rappers are getting more money? Are y'all mad because y'all had slave deals and they don't? Like, that's crazy, bro. So now they going to look at y'all and now it's a divide. We don't need that. We need a song where the younger dudes, like the little Uzi's, can make a song with Nas and it's all good. But it's so much division because y'all keep shaming each other for things like, bro, I only learn from what you teach me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's the biggest problem, man. Once we can fix that, man, I think we can definitely get it right.
Yeah, word up. Well, I definitely appreciate both of y'all brothers for doing this, man. This special project. Once again, Germz, Doc, Teddy B, Ted Talks, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.